New TSA travel rules you need to know in 2025. Flying in 2025? Then you need to know these new TSA travel rules before you even think about heading to the airport. Because what you don't know could cost you big time. We're talking stricter bans, surprise screenings, facial recognition, and a new zero-tolerance policy that's catching even seasoned flyers off guard. You might think your bag is fine, until TSA AI locks onto your protein bar and treats it like a stick of dynamite. In this video, we're going over the biggest, most important TSA rule changes of 2025. The most shocking one? Stick around till the end, because it could mean getting denied boarding over an old social media post. Yep, it's real. Let's dive in with the first two changes that travelers are learning the hard way. Number 1. AI-powered TSA scanners are flagging the most unexpected stuff. In 2025, your carry-on bag isn't just being scanned by a board agent sipping coffee. It's being analyzed by artificial intelligence trained to find anything remotely sketchy, including items that used to be totally fine just last year. What's getting flagged now? Smart luggage with non-removable batteries, power banks over 27,000 milliampere hours, protein bars that are too dense, and even perfumes bought at duty-free shops, sealed and all. That's because the new scanners don't see your bag like we do. They're programmed to detect density and internal shapes, not brand labels. So yes, your chocolate bar might look like C4 to the machine. Even worse, these AI systems work on a zero-tolerance model. If it doesn't meet the updated criteria, it gets pulled. No excuses, no explaining. One traveler said their power bank was confiscated because the label had worn off. True story. Pro tip? Check that every electronic you carry, especially smart bags and chargers, is clearly labeled and within the limit. And for snacks? Keep them in a clear, separate bag. Number 2. TSA facial recognition and biometric screening now mandatory at major airports. Welcome to the future, where the first thing you do at the airport isn't check your bags, it's smile for the camera. TSA facial recognition is no longer optional at many major airports. In fact, in hubs like LAX and Atlanta, it's now the default. Here's how it works. You walk up to a kiosk, scan your ID, and then stare into a camera while it scans your face faster than you can say, privacy breach. That photo is then checked against government databases and the picture on your ID. If it matches, you're good to go. If not, you could be pulled aside for further screening that can take ages. What's got travelers nervous is the data retention. TSA says your biometric data may be stored for up to 5 years, and if you're on any watch list, even mistakenly, you can get flagged instantly. Worried? You're not alone. Privacy advocates are up in arms. But here's the kicker. Opting out is still technically possible, but it often results in manual screening that's way slower and more invasive. So if you like your time and value your sanity, flash your best just past security face and keep it moving. This is one rule that's here to stay. Number 3. Medically necessary liquids must now be pre-approved 72 hours before flight. If you're packing medically necessary liquids for your next flight, like insulin, liquid antibiotics, or specialty creams, hold up. Because in 2025, the TSA has quietly dropped a rule that could leave travelers high and dry. Literally. As of this year, any liquid medication over the 3.4-ounce limit needs to be pre-approved at least 72 hours before your flight. That's right. The old, just declare it at the checkpoint rule? Gone. Now, if it's not on the system when you show up, it might get tossed faster than your half-finished airport latte. And yes, we said medically necessary. Not optional CBD oil. Not my cousin's essential oil blend from Bali. We're talking stuff that's prescribed, labeled, and required for your health. So why the change? It all comes down to TSA's AI scanners and stricter enforcement protocols. In the past, agents had the discretion to evaluate on the spot. Now, if it's not documented ahead of time, you're at the mercy of a system that doesn't understand, but I need this. Here's how to avoid disaster. Contact TSA Cares or your airline's medical accommodations line at least 3 days in advance. Register your medications, upload any supporting documents from your doctor, and keep physical proof with you just in case. Bonus tip: if your medication can come in pill or powder form, consider switching. TSA is still letting those through with fewer headaches. But if you do need to bring that liquid, don't wing it, because 2025 is not the year to gamble with your EpiPen. Oh, and let's not even talk about the time one poor guy's medicated nasal spray was flagged as a suspicious aerosol and ended up in the trash. Don't be that guy. Number 4. Common medical devices now flagged without proper documents. Raise your hand if you've ever packed your CPAP machine or insulin pump thinking, they see these all the time, I'm good. Well, unfortunately, not anymore. In 2025, TSA's zero-tolerance scanning system isn't just flagging electronics and snacks, it's flagging medical devices. And we're not talking about rare, exotic implants here. We mean everyday stuff like EpiPens, inhalers, insulin pumps, CPAP machines, TENS units, and even orthopedic braces. Why? Because the new scanners don't know the difference between life-saving device and suspicious electronic box. If your device isn't clearly labeled and properly documented, it might just get flagged. Or worse, confiscated. Yup, confiscated. There have been reports of travelers being pulled aside, grilled about their CPAP machine, and asked to prove what it is, with no medical staff in sight. And if the TSA agent isn't convinced, goodbye, breathing machine. So here's what you do. Bring documentation. Not just your prescription, but a doctor's note that clearly states what the device is, what it's for, and that it's necessary for travel. Keep it in your carry-on. Bonus points if it's laminated. TSA loves a laminated note. Also, keep any medical gear in its original packaging if possible. Avoid homemade carrying cases that make your insulin pump look like a gadget from a spy movie. The bottom line? If your medical device looks even remotely unusual or unfamiliar, and you can't back it up with paperwork, you might be spending extra time in a little room explaining to a stranger what a CPAP machine is. And trust us, that's not how you want to spend the start of your vacation. Just before we get into the last half of the video, hey, if you've made it this far, first off, thank you. You're already smarter than 99% of travelers at TSA checkpoints this year. If you're finding these tips helpful, or at least mildly amusing, do us a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us reach more travelers who don't want to end up barefoot, flustered, and frantically explaining what a protein bar is to a security agent. All right, let's keep going. Because the second half of this list, it's just getting started. Number 5. CT scanners are not fully functional everywhere yet. You know those shiny new CT scanners at airport security? The ones that look like something out of a Marvel movie and promise you'll never have to unpack your laptop again? Yeah, turns out they're not quite ready to save us all just yet. Here's the thing. In 2025, CT scanners are being rolled out at a bunch of major airports. They're designed to create 3D images of your bag so agents can rotate, zoom, and digitally dissect your carry-on without you having to do the whole pull out your toiletries like you're auditioning for TSA's Got Talent. But, and it's a big but, most of these scanners are still operating in basic mode, which means they can let you keep your liquids and electronics packed, but they usually don't. Yep, you still have to unpack your laptop, your tablet, your toiletry bag, your emotional baggage. Wait, scratch that last one. This upgrade is happening lane by lane, not airport by airport, so one line might let you breeze through like a VIP, while the lane right next to you is still stuck in 2007, making you unpack every battery and bottle you own. Moral of the story? Don't assume. Unless an agent tells you to leave it in your bag, play it safe, and pack like it's old school. Better to get a thumbs up than a pulled-aside pat-down. And hey, when the fully functional lanes finally do become standard, you'll be ready. Until then, consider it cardio. Number 6. Digital ID on Apple and Google wallets replacing plastic IDs, but only at select airports. Goodbye, plastic. Hello, pixels. In 2025, the TSA has finally embraced the digital age, sort of. You can now store your driver's license or state ID right inside your Apple Wallet or Google Wallet and use it to pass through TSA at select airports. Sounds magical, right? You pull out your phone, tap it on the scanner, verify with Face ID or a fingerprint, and boom. You're through security faster than someone cutting the line with TSA pre-check and zero shame. But, and here it comes again, this futuristic magic trick only works at a handful of US airports. We're talking places like Phoenix, Dallas-Fort Worth, Denver, Baltimore, and a few others. Outside of that list, it's back to the old-fashioned dig through your bag while holding up the line routine. Also, even at supported airports, don't be surprised if the TSA agent still asks to see your physical ID, especially if the scanner glitches, your battery dies, or your phone decides now is the perfect time for a software update. So yes, digital ID is slick when it works. Just don't toss your plastic license into the recycling bin quite yet. Pro tip: keep both handy and charged, because nothing's more awkward than explaining to a TSA agent that you did have your ID until your phone died trying to play Candy Crush. Number 7. Smart luggage is banned if the battery isn't removable. Let's talk about something that's catching more travelers off guard than a random gate change at the last minute. Smart luggage. You know those high-tech bags with built-in chargers, GPS trackers, USB ports, even ones that can follow you like a loyal dog in a sci-fi movie? Well, in 2025, TSA is not here for it unless that battery can be easily removed. Why? Because the lithium batteries inside smart bags pose a fire risk. If that battery isn't removable, it's officially considered a flying fire hazard, and TSA isn't taking any chances. Doesn't matter if you've checked it 20 times before. Now, if they spot a non-removable battery, that bag's getting pulled, and you could be asked to check it or dump it altogether. And here's where it gets messy. A guy I heard about spent $400 on a smart carry-on with a fancy charger built right into the frame. No way to take it out. At TSA, they flagged it immediately. He explained, showed receipts, even opened the app that controlled it. TSA's response? Cool story, sir, but no. He had to leave the bag behind and missed his flight. Ouch. Another one, a sweet older couple trying to get to their granddaughter's graduation. They had a sleek new smart bag, anniversary gift, packed with medications and gifts. TSA flagged the bag. No removable battery. They weren't allowed to carry it on or check it in. By the time they figured out what to do, the gate had closed. Talk about heartbreaking. So, if you've got smart luggage, check your battery. Is it removable? And I don't mean with a screwdriver. TSA wants it to come out like a laptop, quick and easy. And don't try to argue at the checkpoint. TSA agents aren't going to disassemble your bag while a line builds behind you. If it doesn't meet the rule, it's not flying with you. Pro tips: if you're shopping for a new bag, make sure the specs say removable battery. Keep a mini screwdriver in your carry-on just in case. Some smart bags have semi-removable designs that still need a tool. And label your charger clearly so it's easy to explain if they ask. Bottom line, that smart bag might be brilliant at charging your phone. But if it can't fly, it's not that smart, is it? Number 8. Automated TSA lanes and self-screening trials. Some are slower than you think. All right, now this one's got future of travel written all over it. But the reality, it's not quite Jetsons level just yet. Let's talk about automated TSA lanes and self-screening kiosks, where you scan yourself, load your bin, and breeze through security without anyone touching your stuff. Sounds fast, sleek, and high-tech, right? Well, sometimes. Other times? It feels more like a Black Mirror episode gone wrong. In theory, these new lanes, called Automated Screening Lanes, ASLs, are supposed to streamline everything. Bins glide back automatically. Multiple travelers load at once. RFID tags let TSA track bags in real time. Some airports even have self-screening booths where you verify your ID, walk into a scanner, and fix any red flags on your own, with zero human interaction. But here's the reality a lot of travelers are discovering. They can be painfully slow. I heard about one woman at Las Vegas's Harry Reid Airport. She'd paid extra for TSA pre-check and chose the self-screening lane thinking she'd save time. She ended up stuck in that pod for 15 minutes, trying to figure out how to clear a false alert about a metal zipper on her jeans. Another traveler at Austin's airport said the automated belt glitched mid-scan, stopping his bag for 8 minutes. No agent noticed. By the time it was resolved, he missed his boarding group. And get this, it was the only working lane for pre-check passengers that morning. What makes these lanes clunky isn't just the tech, it's the learning curve. People don't know what to do. Some walk up, hesitate, try to scan their boarding pass upside down, hold up the line fiddling with bins, or forget their ID entirely. And because the whole idea is less human interaction, there's no one guiding you through the process like in regular lanes. So unless you're already super familiar and fast, these futuristic lanes might slow you down more than the old school way. Now, let's be fair. When it works, it's beautiful. A frequent flyer out of Baltimore said she cleared security in under 90 seconds thanks to the new lane. No unpacking, no agent delay, no line. But that's the catch. It's a gamble. So, what should you do? If you're tech savvy, have TSA pre-check, and you're at a major hub like ATL, JFK, or DFW, go for it. You could be through in record time. But if you're nervous, traveling with kids, or just want someone to help if things go sideways, stick with a regular line. Until this system rolls out nationwide and becomes idiot-proof, no offense to the guy who brought 5 metal drink bottles in one bin, it's hit or miss. Oh, and pro tip, keep your bins together. In these new lanes, they're motorized, but they can still separate. Nothing like ending up at the other end of the belt thinking, "Where's my laptop?" while your socks show up 3 bins later. So yes, it's the future. But sometimes, the future runs on airport Wi-Fi. And you know how that goes. Number 9. Most common mistake, travelers still assuming old rules apply. All right, let's talk about the single biggest mistake travelers are making in 2025. And no, it's not forgetting your charger or showing up late to the gate with a latte and a dream. It's assuming the old TSA rules still apply. Yep, that shampoo bottle that used to be fine? Tossed. That same old carry-on you've flown with for 5 years? Suddenly a security risk because it has a hidden USB charger you forgot even existed. People walk into the airport like it's still 2018. They think, "I've flown 100 times, I know what I'm doing." But TSA's new tech doesn't care how many frequent flyer miles you've racked up. The scanners in 2025? They're powered by AI with a zero-tolerance setting and no sense of nostalgia. I heard about a guy who literally said, "But I brought this same item last year with no problem," as TSA tossed his $300 wireless charger in the bin. TSA's response? It's not last year anymore. Even seasoned travelers are getting tripped up. One woman in Denver said she was delayed over a lip gloss. Not a full-size one, not even one over 3.4 ounces. Just a generic container without a clear label. TSA flagged it. She ended up missing her flight because she assumed that if it fit in the plastic bag, it was fine. Not anymore. And don't get me started on electronics. People still stacking laptops, tablets, and power banks in the same bin, thinking, "Oh, it was fine before." Meanwhile, TSA's AI scanner lights up like a Christmas tree. Here's the truth. Every airport is upgrading tech at its own pace. Some have new 3D CT scanners that let you keep everything packed. Others still want you to unpack like it's 2010. And if you assume you know which one you're getting, that's the moment TSA pulls your bag aside like you just packed a live iguana. So what can you do? Step 1. Stay current. Check tsa.gov before you pack. I know, it's not exactly a fun read, but it'll save you a meltdown at security. Step 2. Pack smart. Don't stuff your bag like you're playing luggage Jenga. Keep electronics and liquids accessible. Use pouches. Label everything. And step 3. Stay humble. Assume everything might have changed, because it probably has. Remember, it's not just about the rules. It's about how the new AI-powered systems interpret the rules. And trust me, they're a lot less forgiving than Janet from Gate C12 used to be. Number 10. Digital Journey Pass is coming. No more boarding passes. All right, imagine this. No more printing boarding passes. No more frantically digging through your email for the QR code while 12 angry people wait behind you at security. Instead, your face becomes your boarding pass. Welcome to the world of the Digital Journey Pass. And yes, it's real. This isn't a someday feature. It's already being tested right now at major airports around the world. So what is it? Think of the Journey Pass as a smart, all-in-one travel credential that lives on your phone. It syncs with your airline, your ID, your boarding info, even your gate number, and updates automatically in real time. Gate change? Updated. Delay? Updated. Need to rebook? It handles that too. It's basically Amazon tracking, but for you. Some pilots are calling it the biggest leap in air travel tech since paper tickets went digital. And once it's rolled out, here's how your trip will go. You arrive at the airport, walk up to the security lane, no ID, no paper. You scan your face, and boom, TSA knows who you are, where you're going, and that you're ready to board. No check-in kiosk, no screenshot, no scanning errors. Just go. But there's always a catch, right? Right now, it's only available at select hubs like DFW, JFK, and ATL. And while it's being rolled out in the US, some of the major push is coming from international aviation bodies, like the folks behind the UN's Aviation Agency. So we're still a few years away from it being universal. And let's be honest, the thought of your face being your passport? Some people love it, some people hate it. There are already concerns about how long that biometric data is stored, who has access, and whether or not it's hack-proof. In 2019, a border contractor had a breach that leaked over 100,000 traveler images. So yeah, people are a bit nervous. That said, the TSA insists it's optional. For now, you'll still be able to opt out and use traditional ID and boarding passes. But let's be real. Once the tech works and it's faster, most people will opt in. And when it works beautifully. I heard about a business traveler who made it from curb to gate in under 9 minutes. He never pulled out his wallet once. Facial scan, digital journey pass, boom. He was at Starbucks before most people got through the first security line. Bottom line, if you're into convenience, keep an eye out for the journey pass. But don't delete your airline app just yet. For now, we're still in the some airports, some airlines, some passengers phase. But one day soon, that crumpled paper boarding pass you printed in a rush will be nothing more than an ancient artifact, like flip phones or overhead projector tickets. The future of travel is almost here. Just make sure your face is camera ready. Before we get to the last, and honestly, most eye-opening TSA rule of 2025, do me a quick favor. If this video's helped you out so far, give it a like and hit that subscribe button. It tells YouTube to show this to more smart travelers like you. All right, let's wrap this up with the final tip. And it's a mindset shift that could change how you travel forever. TSA will soon monitor your social media before you fly. Yep, you read that right. In the very near future, TSA may start checking your social media before you even board your flight. And no, this isn't sci-fi, and it's not just a rumor floating around Gate B12. This is real policy talk happening right now. So what does this mean for you? Well, imagine showing up to the airport, ready for a trip to Vegas, passport in hand, bags packed, and just as you're getting to the TSA checkpoint, you're pulled aside. Why? Because years ago, you posted a tweet in all caps that said, "Bomb concert last night." Too dramatic? Maybe. But that's the world we're headed into. TSA and DHS, that's Homeland Security, are reportedly exploring expanded pre-screening methods that include evaluating public social media activity for behavioral red flags. The idea? Catch possible threats before they get to the airport based on things they've posted online. Here's how it might work. When you book your flight, the airline shares your information with TSA. That includes your name, date of birth, and now possibly your social media handles. Then, an algorithm scans for keywords, phrases, posts, or even tone that might raise a flag. And yes, that means stuff from years ago. Heard about a guy last month who was detained for hours because of a tweet he wrote back in 2014 that jokingly said, "I'm gonna blow up if my flight gets delayed again." Was he serious? Nope. Was it funny? Debatable. But did it land him in a secondary screening room for nearly 2 hours? Absolutely. Now, before you panic delete your entire Facebook, let's be clear, this isn't being enforced nationwide yet, but several government proposals are pushing for it under updated, secure flight protocols, especially for international travel and high-alert regions. Here's the real kicker. There's no formal list of banned phrases. It's subjective, it's algorithmic, and it's messy. So what should you do? Honestly, keep it classy online. Avoid jokes about bombs, threats, or sketchy topics, even if they're clearly sarcastic. Lock down your social accounts or scrub old posts if you think they might raise eyebrows. And if you're traveling for work, events, or media, make sure your profiles match your reason for travel. Some passengers have even been questioned for posting about trips they weren't officially booked on. And yes, I know it sounds a little 1984 meets TikTok, but that's where airport security is headed. Because in 2025, it's not just what you pack in your suitcase. It's what you post online that could keep you grounded.